Hello, everyone. Welcome to Gary Mack Studio. You guys that are just joining in, here's a project I've been working on, and this is the bowl that I'm fixing to turn. And this part right here is going to be palm wood. This part up here is going to be palm wood and some ebony, or I don't know, maybe a glass ball up here or something, and maybe something down in this area, the same effect. And then these handles are going to be, I want to forge those out of iron. And then I'm going to have some ebony, some black decorations around the edge of the bowl itself. So I've got this part in cast. I've already got it casted. And I'm about to turn it. And then right now, this is the lid part. Because this palm wood is just so fibrous, there's no way you could turn it without, there's just no way that you could turn it. So I've got to stabilize it with some resin. And I'm going to cast it in black resin. And I've got it ready to pour. And then over here, I've got it chucked up in the lathe. And I'm while this lid's cooking, I'll put it in the vacuum chamber. It'll take a couple of hours probably to get all the air vacuumed out of that lid. And then here's the bowl itself. I got it ready to turn. So I'm going to start turning this while this lid is in cast in the vacuum chamber. And for you who are new to Gary Mack Studio, this is the vacuum chamber, and I made it. And then this is my pressure chamber. So I'll put it in this and evacuate all the air out of that and flood it with black resin. And that's what I'm about to do now. So y'all just hang in there and watch a minute. And then I'm going to start out with a gallon of this, and we'll see how far that goes. I'm not sure a gallon will be enough. I don't think it will. Because on that other one over there, it's bigger than this, but I put 2.5, almost 3 gallons of resin in that other one over there. So I figure this one's going to take at least 1.5 gallons. And this is a deep pour, slow cure epoxy. And I'll just put some black resin dye in it. We'll stir this up, and let me get some dye to put in it. Did y'all see my hat? Y'all like my hat? A little bit of that black dye goes a long way in this stuff. All right, let's pour this up. Let's just see what happens here. See if this is going to be enough. I kind of doubt it. Okay, we'll put this in the vacuum chamber and pump the air out of this thing. And you can see right there how it just immediately starts pulling the air out of those voids in that wood. And I'll pull this down to 0 on the scale there, and let it set for a while, and it'll bubble and bubble, and then it'll slow down bubbling. And then I'll show you in a minute. I'll flood it with air and do the whole process again. Stuff has come up almost to the top of that. come up almost to the top. I don't want it to overflow into my chamber. So you cut the air off and let's flood it with air. And let's see how much it soaks up. See, it's going down. Man, it's about an inch, inch and a half, almost 2 inches already. So what's happening is all that resin is permeating back into those fibers. So let's turn it back on, and I'll have to do that over and over again for. Okay, here I had trued up the tenon, put a dovetail on it that'll fit that 3-inch chuck. And when I was turning this stuff, I'd waited too long to turn it because that resin got so hard it was just like glass, and it would come off in chunks, and it just blasted my arm and left bullet holes all in my arm. I was bleeding all over my arm. And so the lid that I've got in the pressure chamber right now, I'm not going to let it cure that long. While it's still just a little bit green, I'm going to pull it out and turn it because, man, this right here was just like, golly, it was just like turning glass. And just chunks of it come out and blasted me. And if I hadn't had a face shield on, I'd be blind right now because it just blasted my face. That was terrible. So here we go. Let's pump some more air out of it. Okay, well that's where I am on this today. I'm not going to go any further until I see, because I can't, I'm going to have to recast this and restabilize this because this is not stable right here. This part of this, and this is hard. But this right here is not. See how them fibers are flaking off? Now this up in here's got resin in it. And then this one right here, it doesn't. So that's kind of weird. Anyway, I'll have to think about how I'm going to do that. But I can't do anything on it until this one gets through cooking, and it'll be a couple of days before I can work back on that or do anything to that one over there. And now I got a big mess to clean up. That stuff just goes everywhere. All right. I'll put this up on YouTube, and then when we get the next segment of this thing going, and see what I'm going to do with that piece over there, and then this piece in here, and I'll get back with you guys, and we'll go from there. All right, love y'all. Bye bye. Y'all subscribe to Gary Mac Studio, and keep in tune with what's going on in my old shop. And we will catch you guys on the next one. Love y'all. Bye bye.